Good morning, my lovely kiddos and my future mathematicians. Today we are going to be in Chapter 8, specifically 8.1a, and we are going to be talking about solving proportions. Okay, in order to solve proportions, we need to know two definitions. The first definition is a ratio. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers using division. Okay, so a ratio can look like x over y or x to y, where it looks like a fraction, it looks like division. Or it could also look like this, where there is a colon in between them. They mean the same thing. Okay, so with a ratio, a problem that we might have to go ahead and do is simplifying a ratio. Okay, so if I give you the ratio of 60 centimeters to 200 centimeters, and we want to reduce that, we're going to have to find the greatest common factor between them and then divide out by it. Okay, so I'll start with something simple. We see that both of these end in a 0, so we can simplify by 10. Okay, so 60 divided by 10 would give us 6 centimeters, and 200 divided by 10 can give us 20 centimeters. Okay, but we can see that we can take even more out of this 6 and 20. They have a common factor of 2. I'm looking at the next one. Okay, so 6 divided by 2 will give us 3 centimeters, and 20 divided by 2 would give us 10 centimeters. Since 3 and 10 do not have any common factors, we have simplified this ratio all the way, so that is our answer here. Okay, another example is we have 3 feet to 18 inches. And again, we want to divide out or simplify by that greatest common factor, which, like I spoiled for us earlier, was 3. Okay, so 3 feet divided by 3 gives us 1 foot. 2, and then 18 inches divided by 3 gives us 6 inches. Since there's no common factors between 1 and 6, that is our most simplified ratio. Okay, the second definition that we get to learn today is a proportion. Okay, a proportion is an equation that states two ratios are equal. Okay, so if we have two ratios, I'm just going to use variables here. If we have a ratio x to y and a ratio a to b, a proportion would set these two ratios equal to each other. Okay, so let's go through some examples of those as well. For the first one, we have 3 to x is equal to the ratio 6 to 8. So we want to go ahead and solve for this x, and the way that we're going to do that is called the cross multiply or the Argyle-Sock method, or just crisscross method. I've heard all of these, and that's where we're just going to take the top left-hand number 3 and multiply it by our bottom right-hand number 8, and then get this number. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line. 3 times 8 is going to give us 24, and then 6 times x is 6x. So on the other side, we did the same thing. Top right times bottom left gives us 6x. And then to solve for x, we're just going to divide out by that coefficient of 6 once on each side of the equal sign. So 24 divided by 6 gives us 4. And multiply by 6, divide by 6. Those are going to cancel because they go to 1, leaving us with just that x. Okay, let's do another one like that. Okay, so if we have a ratio 5 to 3, and that is equal to another ratio of 15 to x. We want to go ahead and solve for x once again. So again, we're going to cross multiply here. So we're going to take our top left 5 times our bottom right of x and put that over here. So we have 5x. Then we have our top right 15 times our bottom left of 3, and that gives us 45. To solve for x, we're going to go ahead and divide out by that coefficient of 5 once on each side of the equal sign. Multiply by 5, divide by 5. Those are going to cancel because they go to 1, leaving us with a positive 1x that we don't have to write the 1 for. And then 45 divided by 5 gives us 9. Now we can also have a proportion here where it's not just a single variable, that we have an expression. So let's go ahead and do an example of that. So we have the expression m plus 2 to 5 is equal to 14 to 10. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cross multiply once again. We're going to take our top left, that m plus 2 times our bottom right of 10. But instead of just multiplying it right there, we're going to go ahead and put the 10 outside and then write some parentheses for that expression here. And then the other side, top right times bottom left, 14 times 5 gives us 70. And then to go ahead and solve for m, the first thing we're going to have to do is distribute. So we're going to take this 10 times m gives us 10m. And then 10 times 2 gives us 20. That is still equal to 70. To solve for m, we're going to go ahead and subtract 20 once on each side of the equal sign. Positive 20 minus 20, those are going to cancel because they go to 0, leaving us with just 10 times m. And then 70 minus 20 gives us 50. And then finally, just like the 2 before this, to solve for this m, we're going to get rid of our coefficient by dividing out. So multiply by 10, divide by 10. Those are going to cancel because they go to 1, leaving us with a positive 1m we don't have to write the 1 for. And then 50 divided by 10 is 5.